All good.
Yeah, man.
Hi guys, Luke Jones here again, back for Darts Mad. This afternoon I'm delighted to be joined by 2018 UK Open semi-finalist Robert Owen. How's it going, Robert? How's lockdown treating you?
All right, son. Just a bit bored, really, with the children and that. Obviously, still playing darts, but it's not the same as when you playing in the house all the time. But I haven't gone crazy yet, but I will be before long if we don't get out of it.
Yeah, tell me about it. I touched in the introduction. You got to the semi-final of the UK Open in 2018. What was your? It was only your second major. Obviously, you made your debut in the Players' Championship the year before, a few months before. What were your expectations going into that tournament?
Well, I sort of knew I was playing well after I won my tour card again in January, but I was hoping really just to make some money out of it, make the money round the third round. But in all fairness, it wasn't an easy couple. The first couple of rounds, it was still tough, still getting into it. But I beat Michael Burgoyne and then Jamie Lewis. I beat Jamie Lewis 10-1, I think. So in the fourth round, I was good, but he wasn't. He didn't play very well. Struggled with a bit of the temperature in it, I think. Along with a load of other people, man.
After that, you beat Nathan Rafferty, good youngster. You both played really well there. And then you beat Ian White and John Pass. So you beat some brilliant names to get to the semis.
After that, I think after I beat Ian, just sort of give me the motivation to try and do to go on a little bit further, and it was tough. But after that, I think after the UK Open, I played Ian about 4 times or 5 more times after that, and I beat him four times on the spin then after that, and then finally lost one game to him. I think it was in Milton Keynes, 6-5 he beat me. I think he took a 1-2-1 out on the bull as I'd missed one dart at a double. But that went on for a good record. There's not many people that got that record against Ian White.
No, especially on the floor. He's a brilliant player, isn't he?
Brilliant, absolutely. So one of the best, if not the best, on the floor.
Yeah, I agree. You eventually went down to Corey Cadby. Obviously, Corey, brilliant player. It was obviously weird, that tournament, because you'd made your debut in November in front of a crowd in Butlins, and then you come back then, and it was behind closed doors because of the snow. So what was that like for you?
People think like Chris Mason and I can't remember the other commentator's name, saying, "Oh, it'd be a lot easier for me because there's no crowd." But it wasn't easy. It was it made things a little bit harder because you could hear every single thing. Right, there was a few people there, but not many. It was like playing in a local crowded social club, but a lot of people thought that it was easy, and it wasn't, because you couldn't feed off a crowd. You couldn't feed off. Well, you just had to try and feed off yourself. Nothing there to sort of, get you really, really G'd up for it. But I'll take it. I can always say I got to a semi-final. Not many people, outside the top 16 can say they've got to a semi-final of a major.
Yeah, brilliant. Did it change your mindset at all playing? Obviously, you're meant to be playing in front of big crowds, but then you end up playing in front of not many people, really.
In front of my mother and my sister and my wife. I suppose I played in front of a couple of big crowds, especially on the European tour and stuff. When I was in Maastricht, I think, the year before, and that was later on in the year, August, September time, I think, maybe. And the other time, it was one of the biggest crowds I've ever had on a European. There was 5,000, 5,000 people there. Dutch people, well, mostly Dutch people. It was brilliant.
Is that where you got to the quarters, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lost to Simon Whitlock 6-5.
No, Michael Smith.
Oh, Michael Smith, is it?
Yeah, and he's done me 6-5. I think I've only played Michael 3 times, but he's done me 6-5 each time. You have.
Get in.
I'm waiting for my revenge.
Yeah. So after the UK Open run, things didn't go quite as planned for you. You didn't kick on as much as you as much as you would have liked. What was the reason behind that, do you think?
I was just trying too hard. I think it wasn't so much that I was expecting to do really, really well off myself. It was just a case of I was trying too hard. I was trying too hard to impress people when I was playing, and really the pressure did get to me. I'll be honest, but it was more of a case of that I just wanted to keep on doing well, and I was putting too much pressure on myself when it came to the crunch, and I was losing games which I should never have lost. Some games I was like going 4-1, 5-1 up in and losing 6-5 or 6-4, and eventually it got to me a little bit. But the year went on, I had a fairly decent end to that year. I think from about the August to October, where I picked up a few quid and I started to come right back into it. But as you do, sometimes you always leave it a little bit too late,
Yeah, so last year you didn't have the best years, but it did start to pick up towards the end of the year. You reached the quarter-final where you went down to Krzysztof Ratajski, 6-3. I think he went on to lose in the final. Then you, in the World's qualifier, then you agonisingly lost in the last round to Benito van der Pass. What were your feelings coming from it? Because if you'd qualified, you would have had a chance to then keep your tour card.
Yeah, I would only have to win one game in the World Championships to keep my tour card.
So what was your feelings then, knowing that, right, I got to go back to Q school now?
Well, to be honest, it was like I was I was traumatized because earlier on in the year I got married in the August.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of pressure involved me around the wedding, which that's just normal worries and family worries.
Yeah.
But in the April, a few months before, I suffered a small heart attack. So.
Oh Jesus.
Which which didn't help me, just out of the blue, just one of them things.
Yeah.
I'm all fine now, but it was just one of them things. But that culminated all to me like not playing so well from about the April time onwards until I got married and everything in April. But then again, it was too late. And when I got to that final of the World Championship, I really, really thought, right, here we go. This is the time to kick on. But Benito had two massive outshots against me as I was sat on a double in the last two legs, and that's that. But it ruined me for 3 months. I went back to Q school in the January, not confident in myself, not confident in my darts, just thinking, what am I doing here? And I've never felt like that before. But it was just one of them things, thinking I was so close again to retaining my tour card after 3 times of doing it. It was just mentally sort of
drained you.
Oh, drained me massively did, and it was hard to come back from that. But since this lockdown now, I've been playing brilliant again, and probably about 3 or 4 weeks before the lockdown started, I was playing some really, really, really good darts, and it's just continued through this lockdown. So,
you beat a certain Corey Cadby on live stream.
Yeah.
You played really well as well.
Yeah, revenge was nice, wasn't it? You know what I mean? All right, there was a few quid on the line, but it was just a case of getting one back over on him, because I have a funny feeling that there was a lot of people out there that just sort of written me off because I didn't gain a tour card this year, but that makes me even more hungry to to succeed, really. But a lot of people have probably written me off, and I was reading through all their social media posts and stuff, and I was just like, right, this is not happening. Just play your game and you win, and that's it. And I did. But that's the type of way I've been playing over the last couple of months. I've been it's just one of them things. It's all come at the wrong moment, really.
Yeah, 'cause you scored. I watched that match. You scored brilliantly. I think you averaged 91, but that's because you both missed doubles and clumps, really, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's not too bad. I think over, well, 30, 35 legs sort of thing, like,
Yeah.
the scoring was fantastic. I
Oh
think,
yeah, you're smashing the 180s in.
yeah, 180. I think I had about 12 180s, something like 25 140s, 35 10 pluses, which is good darts over the long format. Like, well,
Yeah.
I think anyway.
Yeah, so you're back on the challenge tour now. Obviously played 4 events before the lockdown. You got to the last 64 on, I think, was it the second challenge tour? It just goes to show that the challenge tour now, the standard is unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh, it's tough, definitely. At the end of the day, it's the second tier. It's the second
Yeah,
tier at the top. Challenge tour is tough. On that first weekend, I think if you look back on the games, I lost every game 5-4
yeah,
after being 4-1 up. And so I was so easily going into that 4-1 lead and then just letting it go as if I was losing concentration in the
yeah,
game. And that's not me. Usually when I'm focused, I'm focused. But it was tough. But the challenge tour, yeah, people might think it's easy, but they'll be they're sadly mistaken. Give it a go. I've been on a pro tour for 6 years. This is the first year I've been off it. Just give it a go, and if they think it's easy, it's not.
no, no. The same with Q School. It's just the standard now. People are averaging 110 and still not getting cards.
Yeah, it's tough, man. The Q school. Don't get me wrong. There's 400 people there, 400 450 people there really on average every year,
Yeah,
and people say, "Oh, it's luck of the draw. It's luck of the draw." Don't get me wrong; it is a little bit of luck of the draw, but it's I think once or not last 2 years ago, well, it was me and Nathan Aspinall
mm,
were in the Q school, and I had a stinking draw all the way through it. I think I had Simon. I played Nathan Aspinall, Simon Stevenson, um, Dave Pallett.
oh, oh,
So I played all top players, which I played on all the way through from round one
yeah,
to the final game. And that's a tough draw for one day. For you to do it
yeah,
on one day is tough, but it's it's massive. You've got to play well at some point to be able to get to that final. You're right. You might have a couple of sloppy games where you scrape a win, but
yeah,
you've got to be solid all in a few of the games just to get over that winning line.
yeah. From there, then you went to the Riley's qualifiers. You got through it. You came up against young Louis Williams in the first round. Played really well, average 94, but you got edged out in the last decider. Louis, as I said, only 18, reached the fourth round, should have beat Steve West, missed starts to get to the fifth round. How big of a future do you think he's got?
Oh, Louis got massive, massive future. He's got massive potential. He's in a good stable now with Martin Foles, ZXF Management. Um, which can only be good for him. He's living in Liverpool now,
Yeah,
well, around Liverpool area. He's practicing with Nathan, so that's only going to be good for him, man. He's gonna when Nathan asks, well, it's only gonna, well, it's only gonna bring him on a bit further. He is still young. He might take, his life might take a different path in a couple of years, but while he's at there, he's very talented and. If he's dedicated, I think he'll go. I think he'll go a long way, a long, long way.
yeah, and Welsh darts is in a brilliant place at the moment. Obviously, you got 6 players on the Pro Tour now. Barry Bates still knocking about. Players I had Price Creighton, Jamie Lewis come back into form this year. John Worsley, Nick Kenny, brilliant player. 110 average in the last game to
Yeah,
get through Q School this year. Um, yeah, so yourself, Mark Webster, who haven't got to a cards, Justin Smith. it's brilliant at the minute, isn't it?
Oh, it's awesome. It's just a shame, like the likes of me, Webby, and Justin are not on there at the minute. And there's
Yeah.
a few, there's a few other Welsh players.
Jim
You know,
Williams, Wayne
even
Moran.
well, exactly. You got world champions,
Yeah.
ex-world champions. In all fairness, we don't all live far away from each other. In all fairness, like, I mean, we'd all,
Yeah.
like Wayne, Richie Burnett, they only live 5 minutes over the mountain from me.
Yeah.
But it's such a strong place now, and if people think it's easy winning tournaments, come down here on the weekend, but you play on a Saturday and Sunday for 500
Exactly.
notes. When you got when you've got over 100 entries for the tournament for 500 on a Saturday, and everyone's, out for a laugh. They're all having a few beers. There's some taking it serious. I know a few of the English boys that come down, and they come to tournaments, and some of them they win some of them they get knocked out. A lot of them they get knocked out first round, and they
I
can't
know
believe how.
Justin Pipe is one because he's only in Somerset, isn't he?
Yeah, it's not far. It's only an hour, just over an hour and a half drive. It's solid for them, and they don't realise how good of a darting community Wales is, because it's massive here now.
Yeah.
So many good players. But personally, I hope that I get back on the pro tour. I'm feeling hungry enough for it. I'm practicing well for it. But also, I think that Justin Smith, he's another one to keep an eye on.
He's brilliant.
Fantastic player, lovely kid. I've been bragging him up a lot to a lot of people, and I said this a few years ago. And he's with a nice management company down with TCL with Tom Cousins, great guy, great manager, with a lot of decent players there, very good players, which will only nourish him as well. But I think he will be the one to watch eventually.
Yeah, definitely. So do you think Welsh darts is in the best place it's ever been with a ever-growing rise of Gerwyn Price? And do you think he's capable of winning the PDC World Championship one day?
Welsh darts, best it's ever been. Best it's ever. To be honest, I don't think it can get any better. The standard of standard and the quality of the player in Wales, it'll be hard to live up to in the next 10, 15, 20 years at the minute. But as for Gezi, he's definitely got him in to win a world championship.
I agree.
He's definitely got him. He's got the ability. All depends what Mr. Price turns up, I think.
Yeah.
As long as he can keep the crowd on his side and not against him, I think he'll do it.
He's just said and done.
Oh, yeah. He's given the persona about him. Everyone's got their own persona, which I don't blame anyone for. Just gives you that edge, gives you the mental edge, maybe. But as long as he does it in the right way, he can win that world championship without a doubt. It wouldn't surprise me if he wins in the next couple of years, if we get out of this lockdown.
Hopefully he'll go ahead in December and he can win it then.
Yeah, definitely. He's more than capable.
Yeah. As for yourself now, you've signed with Bulls, a German manufacturer. How is it working with a German manufacturer, and how did that deal come about?
2000 in the it was 2017. Towards the end, with all our management company within the Cleveland Arms and the Sportsman Management Company, I think Mac got in contact with Herman, the owner of Bulls Germany, and we tried to get me over there towards the end of the season 2017, but it was so hectic that I couldn't get over there. So I signed with them in the January just after I won my tour card again. 2018, I signed them again. I've been out there a couple of times, out to the headquarters. Fantastic company to work with. Great quality of products, everything. If I need something, they send it to me. It's here within 3-4 days, from Germany. I can't get stuff from Amazon in 2 or 3 days sometimes locally,
Yeah, exactly.
But they were it was they're very, very good, and I hope to continue that now for the next, well, however long, because we've got a great relationship there with Herman, and even people in the factory. You go in and you meet them, the people who actually work in the office, actually on the factory floor. They all know who their players are. Yeah, it was crazy. It's as I say, Germany is a different way of life, to over here.
Yeah.
But like I said, the products are amazing. It's all quality.
And how is it knowing you got the backing of those guys? It must make your life a whole lot easier.
Oh, definitely. To have a management company, to have shirt sponsors, to have a manufacturer darts company, all interested with it's massive. The first 3 years of being a professional, I didn't have any of that. I didn't have a sponsor. I had local boys, my local teams, my local dart teams helping me out. Just so I could get to these tournaments and stuff, but everything took a turn for the better. Then obviously I started getting a few results, and people start taking notice. It's not as easy to get a sponsor as what people think it is.
No.
You can't just put a GoFundMe page up and say, "Can you fund me for can you fund me for the next 2 years for 25 grand or something like that?" Like, you've got to be able to win something just to keep yourself going.
Yeah.
But
You've got to show them you've got that talent to make money.
well, yeah, exactly. People have got to see a spark in you for them to take you on. Even if they just like you, sometimes it's not enough. You've got to show. You've got to show your commitment, the dedication to the game, and that's what gets you sponsors.
Yeah, right. I got one more question, and I'm gonna rack your brains here.
Yeah.
I ask this to everyone I interview. It's doing the rounds on social media at the minute. Who are your top 5 greatest players of all time, going from 5 right down to number 1?
Ooh. All right, now you're talking.
I can see the cogs turning in your mind.
Yeah. Right. Number 5, Ian White, because cracking player, absolutely awesome, lovely guy. Him and his wife Maria, top people. Always got a nice word to say. I've talked to him a hell of a lot, quite close to them. Lovely people, but he is solid. He'd be my number 5.
Yeah.
Number 4 would be Eddie Lewis.
Yeah.
Hell of a guy. Always laughing, joking. No matter what people say about his tantrums on stage or, when he has them, but he genuinely he's spot on fella.
Arguably the most naturally gifted player there's ever been.
Without shadow of a doubt. But he's my number 4.
Yeah.
Right. My number 3. This will probably shock a few people because my number 3 would be Stephen Bunting.
Oh yeah, brilliant player.
I got so much. I'm trying to think of the word.
Admiration.
Admiration for what he done. From I know Glenn Durant has done the same. Like Glenn, friends with Glenn. But what Stephen done when he
was just a kid when he first started, when he in the video.
Yeah, exactly. He was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Never changed. He absolutely never changed the person he was. He kept on, and he's a thoroughly nice guy. Always got time to talk to people and stuff. Quality player on his day. But I have so much admiration for what he done at the start. Not easy.
And he's so consistent now in the PDC as well. He's staying in that top 20. He's not dropping out, is he?
Nope, that's what it's all about, man. But he's definitely my number 3.
Yeah.
Right, number 2. I got my number 1, but I don't know about my number 2. Let me think quickly. Right. Well, my number 2 got to be a Welsh player, haven't it? You know what I mean?
I go on, yeah.
It's got to be Richie Burnett.
Yeah, brilliant, Richie.
Again, one of the most naturally gifted players this earth have ever seen, I think.
And probably the most mental player.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If if Richie's if he's not arguing with himself, it's not Richie, like. But one of the same as Adrian Lewis, one of the most naturally gifted players this earth have ever seen. So much quality and talent.
Yeah.
Not in the heights he was before. We all know he had problems and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't care what anyone says. If he was still up there now, he'd still be a top 32 player without shadow of a doubt.
He's still going. Still going.
Oh yeah, still going, but not so much now. I think he's relaxed a little bit more, and But definitely my number 2.
Funnily enough, yesterday actually I seen a stat in 1994. He didn't lose any games in major tournaments. Obviously, he went on to win the World Championship, but he didn't lose at all in a major tournament. That's how good he was.
Look at that for a record.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll see anyone else has done that.
No, he was probably the best player in the world at that point, wasn't he?
Oh, no shadow of a doubt. Right, my number 1 is Peter Wright.
Yeah, brilliant.
The silent assassin. He is. He's such a gentleman. He's one of the most quietest people you will ever meet in your life. He's helped me out a lot with a lot of things when we've been on tour and stuff. And him and his wife Jo, special people. They're absolutely fantastic. And Peter, another one, all the talent in the world he's got. If he picks the right set of darts, and if he sticks with 1 set or 2 sets, maybe, or even 3 sets, he's one of the only people that can mix and match weight,
unreal,
barrel size, you know what I mean, thin barrel, thick barrels. He'll go from 17-gram darts to 25-gram darts, and he'll still throw 100 average. All right, we've seen him throw some rubbish games like any darts player.
Yeah.
But there's not many people that can do what he does with any sort of set of darts.
Yeah.
I remember once when I left my darts in the venue one afternoon, went back to the hotel for the next day. I thought I lost my darts. I went back into the venue and I'm asking around. Nope, no one's seen them. So I was speaking to Jo and she said, "Oh, Peter's found a set of darts this morning in the case." I said, "Oh, I said, I bet Peter was practicing. He'd been practicing with my darts all afternoon, all morning. He had from about 9 o'clock till about 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Just out the blue. But he's my number 1 darts player because he's got my aspirations to be every bit like him. He's such a nice guy, down to earth, all the talent in the world. And I think he thoroughly deserves everything he gets because he is a great darts player and a thoroughly nice guy as well.
Yeah, and to think in 2014, before he got to the World Championship final, he was thinking about packing it all in, wasn't he?
Well, exactly. I think that comes to every darts player's mind when things don't go so well. But hey, that's darts. You love it, you hate it, you love it again, you hate it again, you love it. That's the life of being a professional darts player. It's tough, but wouldn't have it any other way, man.
Yeah. Well, massive thank you for coming on, Robert. Eventually, once we sorted the problems out.
No problems.
I wish you all the best now when we finally come out of this lockdown. Hopefully you can get winning games on the Challenge Tour, maybe win a couple of titles.
I hope so.
And hopefully we'll see you back on the Pro Tour along with the other Welsh boys very soon.
I hope so, bud. I hope so. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, Rob. All the best.
No problems. Cheers, Lou.
Ta-ra.